Some background check companies are coming under fire for reporting expunged records that in many cases keep people from being able to apply for housing and even jobs. Here with the story is WSJ reporter Joe Palazzolo. Joe, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Do we know how often these expunged records come up?
Well, no. By definition, we have no idea because, an expunged record legally doesn't exist. So,
but clearly it's still causing problems.
Yeah. And we should be clear here. Expungement means different things in different places. It could mean that a record's sealed. It could mean that people actually, government officials actually destroy the record. So it just depends on where you're at.
And so what are consumer advocates saying about all of this? Because there's a growing push for these background check companies to reveal their sources or at least do more research, correct?
Right. Well, so they are concerned about the consumer advocates are concerned that they're not doing sort of enough. They're sweeping up all this information, but they're not sort of going through and making sure that the records they have are updated. And so they've really been, going after them. My story looks at a private lawsuit in which they try and hold a background check company liable for passing along inaccurate information about someone's arrests.
And what do the background companies say about all of this? Are they winning these lawsuits? Are they losing them?
They've settled most of them.
They've settled.
They haven't really gotten too far in the courts. But usually what they say, the law says that they have to achieve maximum possible accuracy. That's not perfect accuracy. So in most cases, they say, look, we take reasonable steps to make sure that when we're collecting arrest records, conviction records, and we're providing that to our clients, whether they be employers or landlords, that it's accurate, but we can't be perfect all the time.
How are they getting these expunged records in the first place?
Well, so they get bulk records from various sources. They buy them when they can from courts, corrections departments, law enforcement agencies, and then the idea is to make sure that they buy updates regularly, but there's no sort of set time. The law doesn't say how often they have to update it.
And they don't always do that due diligence. Now, why is this more important? I mean, it's amazing to hear that 1/3 of all Americans have been entered into the FBI's criminal database.
Right. I mean, it's just eye-popping. And that was, the Wall Street Journal reporter, Gary Fields, had put that data together recently. And so when you have that many people with arrest records,
they clearly want to make sure that everything's above board, and if they're expunged, they're expunged, because states are making it easier in many cases to expunge records.
That's right. There's been a big push by states just in the recent years to either expand the scope of expungement laws or create them a whole cloth.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, there's a need here with
clearly.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much for that report.